You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Center, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share facts.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is We'll do it live! Time goes in, time goes out. Never miscommunication.
It's over 9,000! My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there. Do a barrel roll! Don't phase me, bro! It's a trap! I'm a firing believer! Time to Hey, Charlie, wake up! Oh, God, oh, man!
Hello one and all, and welcome back to Nerd to Know Basis here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. This week you got me and Dara. How are you doing, Dara?
Ahoy, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a quiet week. And by a quiet week, I mean I have spent every ounce of my time diving right back into Final Fantasy 14.
Keeping it relevant.
Never not relevant. Hey, that's the thing about MMOs, always relevant.
That's true. I've actually gone back into gaming as well myself. I'm still trying to finish Cyberpunk, talking about relevant. Like every time I'm just like, oh, there's about probably like 2 hours left, but I'm just my will has been broken.
10.
My will has just been broken on it because I'm just like, I just want to play the PS5 version because I know it's not broken. The PS4 version is still horribly broken.
Have they released the PS5, the actual full PS5 version yet?
Oh, they have, yeah, no. But what happened is I was halfway through. So, okay, story time. I don't know if I told you this or not. So I started playing on the PS4.
Yeah.
And then I got a PS5.
Yeah.
They released the fix patch on the PS4. It broke the game on the PS4. Like, it does not work on the PS4. So I had to transfer my save and everything else over onto the PS5, download the PS4 version on the PS5, and that's how I'm playing it.
But like you can't transfer your files over to the PS5 version.
No, because it's version specific.
That's very strange.
Yeah,
like
so I kind of need to. So where I'm sitting now, I'm like, I just need to finish the game, and then I'll start a new version on the PS5, like on the PS5 version.
Oh, so you fully just want to play it on the PS5, and that's kind of that.
Yeah, because I mean, it is one of the best games ever made. It's just such a broken mess at the same time.
That's it. I have a copy. I've got a PS4 copy sitting just on my shelf that
get rid of it. There's no point.
A friend of mine gave it to me. Listen, it was free. A friend of mine moved to Japan, and I got just a fistful of his games.
Okay, well, that's fair.
So there's no upgrade system, is there?
No, there isn't. No.
That's so strange.
But actually, hold on, wait, no, there is. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
there is.
That's the commonplace for these. Like that's when I bought my PS5. I was in the middle of playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah,
and that was such a simple process of like, oh, you're playing the PS4 version. Here's the PS5 version.
Yeah, they did it with like Watch Dogs and stuff like that as well. But those games, did that transfer over? Your save transfer over, or did it not? Well,
yeah,
okay,
no, it did. Yeah, like wow. I literally, I think it was actually because the PS5 had to like do all of its updates. I was like, well, I've got like 2 hours to kill.
Yeah, it's funny because
play Horizon. So I was literally playing Horizon on the PS4.
Yeah.
Then when I saw that, the PS5 update's fun. Go load up there. Literally just turned one console off, turned the next one on, and then just picked up where I left off. Unreal.
I was actually. It's funny because I didn't get it. I only got a PS5 because the game I wanted to play did not work on the PS4, and it was the new Jurassic World game.
I thought you were going to say Cyberpunk again.
No, Cyberpunk. I was just hanging out on the PS4 and it just didn't work at all. Period. Until they fixed it.
Is this the Jurassic Park park builder game?
Yeah. I really like Paradox games. I actually love them. To be fair, they're one of my favorite games. So I love Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. I think they're brilliant. But even games like the Mars one, I haven't played that one, but like it looks pretty much to be the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the Jurassic World games, it's just brilliant. It's like the best of like zoo and theme park because you get to build all this kind of stuff. And I was a big fan of the first one. Actually, I finished it completely, even all the DLC, except for Claire's Sanctuary. That one is terrible. Never get that DLC. It's really bad. But yeah, they released a sequel to it then just before the new movie came out. And it just didn't run. I mean, it ran, but then it was just like vroom, 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 and then it would like randomly just hit the start button, where it just like you would run something, like you would build something, and then the game would just go.
Yeah, I have heard that because it's actually funny you mentioned it. My fiance has it and is a big fan of it as well.
It's brilliant, yeah.
She loves dinosaurs and just like is absolutely just well into like big Sims head as well. So she fully clocked into like building the perfect dinosaur zoo.
Yeah.
And like she has a pretty beefy like computer laptop, like a gaming laptop. But even that was like really running the fan up a bit.
Yeah. I don't know why it's so hard for it to run.
I think like whatever way they must have sorted it, like it just whatever way they might have like programmed it. There's probably just like various sorts of AIs in each of the dinosaurs that you spawn that are just like
would make sense.
Mayhem on their GPU.
That would make sense. Yeah, because actually that's exactly what it is.
It has to be.
That's exactly what it is. Because one of the great things about the first game is all the dinosaurs do what they want. They just don't care. They're like, oh, you built that, great, destroy. But it's funny because the first one you can actually play on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because how?
with magic and duct tape, that's how.
But the second one, yeah, and again, like they have water. I was gonna say Pokemon, water dinosaurs, and even the flying ones and stuff like that as well, like the pterodactyls and stuff like that. So yeah, look, I mean, I'm probably gonna go back to it. It's just I kind of got stuck on Cyberpunk, so I've kind of gone back to gaming. The Steam Deck and the Switch honestly take up most of my gaming time when I have it. So I've tried to go back. I still have Steel Rising to play, which I don't like Dark Soul kind of games, but this just looks super fun. It's like you're a robot defending King Louis the 16th in revolutionary France. Yeah, have you ever heard about this?
I think I heard the name. I didn't realize it was revolutionary France because I think I saw the name and saw Souls-like and thought, whatever.
Yeah,
revolutionary France.
They should have called it Bastille. It's just there, like Bastille. It's like, come on, what are you doing? So it has the most generic name in the world, and it is. It's the most generic, and it seems like on paper, but then you read, I'm like, oh wow.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things where like the Souls-like genre, although it looks on the surface to be the most homogenous thing, is creating some of the most wackadoo titles anyone's. Have you come? Okay, I'm fully taking this off the rails. Have you heard about Life of P or Lies of P?
I've heard the name. I've no idea what it is.
So it's another Souls-like game that's coming out. I think it's this year. It's in production.
Right.
It is. What if Pinocchio was a Dark Souls game?
Oh my god.
It is like this is one where I can't really do justice to it.
Right.
That you kind of need, like, if you're listener, unless you are driving through Blanchardstown right now, don't stop the car for this. But when you get home, look up the gameplay trailer for Lies of P, because it's a Souls-like, but it's also kind of a like almost Bloodborne like Victorian Gothic horror.
Wow.
But also steampunk, but also Pinocchio.
You see, I mean, I think like the soul-like thing by itself kind of handicaps the game. I think with Bloodborne, I mean, if you're a huge fan, you're just going to like it in and of itself. But the concept doing something really interesting is what really pulls me in. And I mean, if this, like, I would never play a Souls-like game. I just don't like them, right? But I love Revolutionary France. Like, I bought Ambition, a Minute in Power, right? And it's a dating sim based in pre-Revolutionary France.
Right.
But it's not so much even a dating sim as such as it uses the trappings of a dating sim and visual novel to basically go through the political turmoil of France. So you're basically playing through it, and it's more like what's the game called? Roommates. But instead of dating, you're going through the political milieu of that period, and you're trying to survive either supporting the revolution, supporting the crown, or you get killed in the guillotine, basically.
Right.
So I'm like, I am so here for this. This is incredible. And I mean, like, that's it. It's just these kind of games you're able to really go beyond just, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this. So when Steel Rising came out, I was like, that name is terrible. This looks amazing, and it plays very much like, even though it's so like, it plays like it's a Blood Rain. It plays very like Blood Rain.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So, it's cool.
little faster, a little lighter.
Yeah.
Well, funny thing is, this softballs us nicely into what I wanted our main topic to be this week, which is which we spent the past couple of episodes looking back at like 2022.
Yeah.
And I think before we kind of get into the thrust, let's look forward at what's kind of coming in 2023.
Sure.
And I think we'll start with games. While we're kind of on the topic, and just on the topic of Bloodborne, or like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, had you heard about a game that came out a couple of years ago, Bloodborne PSX?
Yes, the demake.
Yeah, the demake. Yeah, it was a fan made demake.
Yeah.
Made by one person, fully made. Like, I haven't actually got a chance to play it yet because it's only on PC, and I just don't play games on the PC.
Right.
But I've watched videos of it. It looks great. It's fully just like low poly 3D PS1 demake of Bloodborne. Looks great.
Okay.
What she's making now, fully spun off from just like a meme, is she's making Bloodborne, like the PS1 Bloodborne, into a kart racer. Called Bloodborne Kart. And she's been doing like very flashy. You can find her on Twitter. She posts like dev blogs on it like daily.
Right.
I think it's if you look up like PSX Lilith, you'll find her pretty quickly. Or
Right.
Bloodborne Kart. But like she's been putting out like pretty kind of flashy trailers with like full music accompaniment to announce the kart racers of the Hunter and the Doll.
Yeah.
and all of this stuff, and it looks like a really just fun retro like Crash Team Racing style kart racer, but Bloodborne.
Cool. I like. It's funny because it's an interesting topic, because like I haven't what's it? It's March now, and a couple of games have come out that I haven't actually played yet. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the horrible Wizard game for reasons. We're just not.
So many reasons.
We're just not. I mean, we're just not. I mean, I've never been a fan of the series anyway, and
we're just not. Darryl, what game do you want to talk about?
We're just not. So that's why we're not talking about it. But the game I did want to talk about is Atomic Heart.
Yeah.
The reason why is because I love BioShock. Right, I love BioShock, and there's a new BioShock coming out as well, I believe. And this seems to be
BioShock, quote unquote. I don't think it's officially up. It's a Ken Levine game, with the same systems, but it's not like a BioShock game.
Yeah, it's going to be everything pales in comparison to System Shock 2. So I mean, actually, the remake of System Shock 1 is actually out now, and the demo was unreal. So I'm probably going to pick that up. Yeah, Atomic Heart is interesting because it's like the most modern BioShock type game we've seen. Now, there is some controversy that as well. It is what it is, but the game looks so good. It looks so good.
This is one of these ones where I think I saw trailers for that maybe like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it took years for it to come out. Yeah,
it had that like quick paced action in that like Soviet Futuro style that was so unlike anything else kind of going on at the time. Pale and desolate, but in a way that was almost so engaging to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And it just seems like they have that mix between desolation, retrofuturism, and then just weirdness.
Yeah,
where I'm like, man, like the only reason why I haven't bought it yet, honestly, is because I have too many games to play.
Yeah,
it's irresponsible for me to buy another game to sit on a shelf, but it will be one that I will play in time. Also, I think you can drive in as well, which is pretty interesting. Another one as well that I have to mention off the bat real quick is the... Sorry, I lost it here. the Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now, I was not a fan of Punchable Face Man, Fallen Order, but I'm going to give Respawn another chance. If this game sucks, I'm like, right, I'm never touching this again. But there are talks that there are other now Star Wars games coming out. So I think if this goes well, we might actually get other ones. We might get another Battlefront soon.
Yeah,
but,
I think the whole thing was that because it was during like the Battlefront 1 and 2 era from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Was that it was exclusively EA had the rights and they completely messed the bed up.
Completely.
So it's only recently in the past year or two that those rights actually got like I think like LucasArts went, no, you've screwed it on this.
Yeah, you've messed this up. Yeah.
We're freeing up the rights, like liberalizing them a little more.
Yeah.
So like I think it's taking a couple of years for games to actually get developed out of that.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few more Star Wars games, I think, probably similar to the LucasArts ones coming out, which I mean is fantastic. I've always loved Star Wars games. Still to this day, the best system for Star Wars games is the Xbox, the original Xbox, which is weird. I know, but it's true. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. It just is. But yeah, a lot of them are on the Switch now as well. So I would recommend that. Payday 3 is coming out, which is going to be super cool. A sequel to Warhammer 40k Space Marine, which is the best game you've never played. That game is so fun, dude. Genuinely.
Is this like another raid thing? Because I've been hearing many people talk about Darktide and how good Darktide is.
No, it's not. Basically, it's a third person shooter, right?
Okay.
That is like the first one. It's just so fun. That's it. It's so fun. It has everything, and it's just like I think you can get it. I got it on Steam for like a $5. Humble Bundle have it a lot as well. Man, I cannot recommend a fun time more than the first Space Marine. Honestly,
I'll have to. Yeah,
honestly,
I may give that a shit. Although,
honestly,
like it's already out. I think it might have come out at the end of last year. But one that's been on my radar for a while now is a game called Evil West.
Oh yeah, that is.
I've been watching a playthrough of it, and it's it looks like one of the best games to come out from 2005. Everything is cranked up to 11.
Yeah,
you are cowboys fighting hunting vampires.
It's the same vibe with the original Space Marine. Now the sequel's out later this year, but it's the same vibe. But the thing about it is, everything is so crisp, and I don't know if you've ever played 40k. 40k games have always been hit and miss. The over the head ones I don't particularly like. You know
like the RTS ones.
I like RTS games, but not the ones where you're kind of actively shooting. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
What are they called? They're called roguelikes. I'm not a big fan of roguelike dungeon crawlers. But I mean, this is the first, and even the RTS games where you play as in the Warhammer universe, you never really get the scale of a Space Marine. Space Marine is 8 foot tall, right?
They're monstrosities. They're like I don't know the 40k universe. I do know that the people in it are nightmares. Yeah,
but you never get that in a video game before until this one, when you're getting there's waves upon waves upon waves of orcs, and you're just mowing them down with a bolt thrower. And it's just like, oh man, this is just. And then you get to use the chainsaw the chainsaw sword. Oh, it's brilliant. It's so much fun. And then you get to use a dreadnought. Look, I'm a big 40k fan, but the lore is always the best part of it. Other than painting's fun. And I just can't recommend this enough.
Yeah.
The fact there's a sequel coming out, I already have it pre-ordered. Again, System Shock 2, System Shock, the remake is coming out as well. It's already kind of out. And Lord of the Rings Gollum, last one on my list.
Seeing that, is that like, I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, so I've seen. Good? I don't know. This is what I wanted to get your thoughts on. So I saw this 2 years ago in Cork, of all places, in Smiths, right? I was like, what? There's no Gollum game. And it's in development. Apparently it's from a German studio. It looks like it's just a game that takes place in Mordor, and you're Gollum. Now, what's interesting is I'm actually going back and playing Shadow of War, which is the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. And a lot of that takes place in Mordor.
Yeah.
With Gollum. And I'm like, I think this is the same game. Did they just make this game again?
I think it looks like kind of there's something about the ads for Gollum that have it with a particularly it's a very signature kind of jank that I haven't seen in games in a long time that I'm kind of charmed by. And it looks like kind of a very stealth heavy game.
Yeah, I think that's
I don't know what to make of it. It feels wrong that this game is coming out this year.
Well, it kind of leads into the next point because there is a new not Star Wars. There's a new Lord of the Rings movie being announced,
Oh
new series.
yeah.
Now we talked about Rings of Power. You can go back and listen to the archives. I'm not going to get into it again, but I have concerns. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, do you know anything about what they're going to cover or how it's going? Or
it's like the impression I got from the release was that they are just straight up remaking the Jackson movies.
Wow, okay.
Just to like in some half-hearted attempt to like cash in on nostalgia.
Yeah, folks, don't just avoid it. Just avoid it. I mean, the Jackson movies are timeless.
That's it. Like, at least Rings of Power was trying to do something else.
The thing about Rings of Power, if they had have actually committed to just making the Silmarillion, fine, just make the Silmarillion.
Yeah,
it would have been all right. I mean, just make a movie the Silmarillion. You can break it. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, the Lord of the Rings thing, it's kind of blood from a stone. Like, once you told the story, you can't really. All you can really do is retell the story again. It can't really go anywhere else. I know you have the unfinished tales and stuff like that, but I'm like, that's no one is going to care about. And I think The Hobbit proved it. The Hobbit proved that there wasn't the appetite really for more Lord of the Rings.
But no, The Hobbit proved that people didn't want the most stretched out movie. Because I think that first Hobbit movie was good. Well.
Well, I mean, okay, so there is
because people realized that because people wanted to see The Hobbit, but when they realized that that this was going to be something like a small children's book stretched out to 6 hours, that's fatigue setting in. And I think if they just committed to making one, maybe two movies and made them snappy and actually made them like the book, people would have went for it.
Well, they've done that with fan edits. There's a fan edit. It's about 3 hours, and it's all the movies combined into one, and it's great. But
I'm sure that works.
Works a hell of a lot better than what we got in the cinemas, anyway. But there's one final thing I wanted to mention. We may or may not have a review copy for the new WWE game coming in. So when we get that, there will be a proper review, probably on our YouTube channel as well.
Is this a 2K one or?
Yeah, the good people at 2K might be looking after us again this year. And I'll give a review of that properly on the show, but also in long form on the YouTube channel as well when it comes in. Because look, this one is actually interesting. I know you're not a huge wrestling fan, but I do have to mention it because I'll be honest with you, they're doing some very interesting things with this one, right? So,
again, this is me looking from the fringes because I think it was 22 was the one that was broken beyond repair.
20,
yeah, this was that long ago.
Yeah,
and and I've heard since then things have been on an uptick in a weird way.
Yeah, like basically what happened, so to go all the way back, so the first 2020 was released, and it used to be by this company called Ukes, right, which are a Japanese company, and they pretty much were making all the wrestling games forever. Okay, and then they just were like, look, we don't really want to do this. We want to do something a little bit different. WWE sacked them, and or 2K, I don't know who it was actually, but one of them said, right, we're just going to make it ourselves, and they made it themselves in like 6 months. And there's a great channel called What Happened, and you can actually watch the whole train wreck of that.
No, great channel.
It's a great channel, a great series. But yeah, and that's basically what happened. Like the game itself, I actually thought that was quite charming, to be fair. I mean, playing through it, it is on our YouTube channel, my playthrough of it, and it's just so bizarre. But what's weird is it was released in 2019, then the pandemic happened. And a big part of that storyline was empty arena matches. And I'm like, oh my God, they predicted it. And then other random stuff they just predicted. So, I mean, it is quite funny. But the one they released, they took a break then after that and released 2K 2022, which was last year's one. That was actually very good. It was actually a very, very good game. Right. So what's interesting about this one is so WWE had this concept called War Games, right? It was in WCW, but they've actually brought it back on WWE. And it's 2 rings and 2 cages. Right.
Okay.
Now, this kind of stuff has been in fan mods for years, but it's the first time that they've actually properly released it. They've also upgraded like certain stuff they brought back, like the GM modes, stuff like that. With anyone who's a fan of the SmackDown versus Raw games will know that was a big part of it. So, look, it's pretty cool. I mean, I was going to buy it anyway, but if we do get a review copy, I'll let you guys know that it's a review copy and they give us a code. But Yeah, I'm excited to play it anyway. The last year's one was quite good. So I just wanted to mention that one off the bat while we're here. And let's talk about some movies, Kev. So look, I think we'll start with the big one, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that's the most hotly anticipated movie of the year. Cocaine
Surprisingly.
Bear.
So I went to go see this. I went to go see this on Monday, right?
Yeah.
And it was Monday at like 10:06, and it was packed. Not packed, but it was like when I went to go see Ant-Man, there was like 4 people.
Busier, yeah. Cocaine Bear being busier than a Marvel movie is saying a lot.
Yeah, and opening, like, it wasn't opening weekend, it was the Monday, but the Marvel movie I went to go see opening weekend, opening day, the Friday.
Wow.
And there were 4 people. Cocaine Bear was a lot more full. And look, Elizabeth Banks, I like Elizabeth Banks. The woman cannot make a movie, right? She really can't.
Right.
God bless her. She just can't. And I feel bad because she goes for interesting topics. Like Charlie's Angels, yeah, it was a train wreck, but at least it was a little bit interesting. I really like everything she's been involved in. But there's just always something about her movies that I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. Pitch Perfect was fun, to be fair. The Pitch Perfect movies kind of stand on their own, really. They are fun movies. But everything else she's done has been very just weird, you know? Just weird.
And I think like it seems like that she's kind of started like I guess she's leaned into that by the look of things.
Yeah, but I mean the thing about it is it's like it's not that she's because she's not bad. Yeah. It's just there's just these weird kind of movies. Like, you know what she needs? She needs an editor, like a really good editor who's not afraid to be like, listen, stop. You gotta stop. Right. The Charlie's Angels movies was kind of hampered from the beginning. Cocaine Bear is hampered in its own unique way because the premise is actually hilarious, and it's always funny to see the bear off its face on cocaine. The death scenes have no weight because it's so funny.
Well, that's
right?
Yeah. Like I can't imagine it's a movie that's being led by character development.
It's not. No, there is some good. Sorry,
unless the character development is that the bear is doing so much cocaine.
Kinda, actually, yeah. But no, like they do couch it in such a way that like there are like 3 separate intersecting stories along with the cocaine bear. So there's the cocaine bear, there's like the mother and the daughter, there's like the lads who own the cocaine trying to find the cocaine, and then this police officer trying to find the lads to find the cocaine, right? And that stuff was actually quite interesting. But it's so hampered by the fact that it's a movie about a bear that does too much cocaine and goes on a killing spree. So on the one hand, you have this really interesting movie where it's like, okay, these guys have to do this, and there's a little bit of character development, and then it's like big set piece with coked out bear. So I mean, look, would I recommend it? Tentatively, yes. Would I recommend you pay for it? No. Obviously that doesn't mean download it legally. I mean, like I have a Cineworld card, so
like if it crops up on like your Netflix homepage, you've got nothing else to watch. Watch Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, look, if you have a card with some cinema that allows you to watch movies for pretty much free, yeah, absolutely. If it pops up on TV, yeah, give it a watch. If it's on Netflix, absolutely watch it because it is a good time. But I would not be rushing out of the cinema to go see it. A movie I will be rushing out to go see is Scream 6 and John Wick 4, which are coming March.
Oh, I have a list of movies sitting in front of me, and I forgot to put down John Wick 4.
How?
Darren, thank you. I don't know.
What are you doing?
I think I just had it as a given. Like I think that yes, of course I'm going to go see John Wick 4. I will watch Keanu Reeves throw knives at anyone I can.
The John Wick series is just phenomenal. The second and third one are so good. The third one is just brilliant. They go to Rome. It's a good time. This one looks to be taking place in Paris. It's going to be a good time. So look, that's out the 24th of March. So we have a bit to go. The Scream 6 though is out like the week of Comic-Con.
No way.
Yeah, so it's at the 10th of March. So
I've been hearing like this is supposed to be kind of like a soft reboot sort of thing.
Okay, so it's interesting because how do we go into this? I really like horror movies.
Yeah.
I love slasher movies, right? And when a slasher movie goes to New York, it's bad. When you go to New York or go to space, it's bad. So I'm
hold on, I'm not going to sit here and take Jason X slander sitting down.
No, stop. You're not going to absolutely defend. Are you actually defending Jason X?
I'm not saying it's like the pinnacle of cinema, but I'm saying I have a blast anytime I watch Jason X.
Okay, it's like Lep in the Hood. It's terrible, but I enjoy Lep in the Hood as well. Okay, I'll let that one go. But I mean, it usually marks some kind of decline away from. Like, I mean, Scream is a little bit different because it's always kind of been a parody of slashers anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one is quite interesting because it's out of Westboro, right? It's also away from. I know Scream 3 was in LA as well, so it's very rare that they're actually moving away from the town. And it seems to be like a cult around Ghostface.
Okay,
which is interesting.
That is it. That is something different. At least
it is. I know. I mean, like I still think Scream 4 is probably the best one. Genuinely, Scream 4 is actually. It's actually unbelievable. It's so good. And when you watch it again a couple of years away, you're like, wow, they really, really went for something different here. It's a very auteur movie. The fifth one was pretty good as well. Not going to lie. Did enjoy it a great deal. But the fourth one, I think, is the strongest of the whole series. And, and that is, as someone who's a fan of the series, with the second one probably being the weakest. Yeah, but look, it's going to be fun. I'll probably watch it before we're on Comic-Con. But other than that, man, I'm going to let you in a second. Other than that, the only movie that I really want to say, I like the Mission Impossible movies. They're always fun. Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, that's going to be something. But The Flash, talked about this a little bit on the show. It's the reset of the DC EU. It's the Michael Keaton back as Batman. I'm going to go see it about 12 times. Can't wait. But yeah, sorry. What have you got, Kev, on your list?
Yeah, no, The Flash, just sheer fascination. Well, in terms of the soonest one, the next one I think I'm actually going to go out and go to a cinema to see is 65.
Oh yeah, that's
Adam
a good
Driver.
call.
Yeah. Oh god, no. This film got me immediately with its trailer, because it's Adam Driver on a spaceship alone, ferrying cryogenically frozen humans to like the next. Earth has been wiped out. They have to go out into space. They got to find a new colony. They land on a planet. They crash land on a planet. Find out. I think one of the kids in the cryosleep things wake up. So it's Adam Driver and a kid. Then they find out that they are being hunted by monsters. Yes. The monsters turn out to straight up be dinosaurs.
Yes.
And it turns out they are on Earth 65 million years in the past.
Yes.
And it looks like just one of those. It's like the plot of an 80s movie that we're getting now. And I think that like it's that sort of vibe that I've just been missing from cinema movies where like something goes so buck wild, but it takes itself so seriously. So like that's absolutely one just caught me. Also, we need a good dinosaur movie because the Jurassic World movies just haven't been doing it.
Yeah, I can't even defend them. I'm sorry.
No,
I can't even defend them. No, I don't.
So that's the next one on my thing.
Okay.
As a horror buff, one I think you are probably looking forward to is Evil Dead Rise.
Kinda. I mean, yeah, kinda.
I watched the trailer. Like again, I think I like what they're doing with kind of the Evil Dead stuff. I actually haven't watched Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
That's very good.
I've heard it's one I just haven't gotten to. But the reboot movie from, was it 2016 or 20? Just how long ago was that?
Oh, it was a good while ago now. Yeah,
good while ago. I really liked that. I thought it was a great take on it. That started as very self-serious and very modernist, but then just catapulted itself into the campness of Evil Dead.
You have to. I mean, otherwise it's not Evil Dead. Like,
but like it's definitely like it's gore. It is gore for the sake of gore, but it is very well dressed up gore.
Look, I don't know. You've thought about more serious horror movies, but The Nun 2 is coming out.
Oh.
But there is one that I'm very interested in, and only because I keep getting ads for it on YouTube. It's the Pope's Exorcist.
This one I haven't heard of now.
So this was actually shot in Ireland because there was a call for extras on it, like specific extras. So it was shot in Trinity College, I believe. Which is weird because it's supposed to be shot in Rome. But yeah, the Pope's Exorcist, and then the remake of The Exorcist is coming much later on this year. But basically, the Pope's Exorcist, it's a true life story. It's about the Pope's personal exorcist, basically, who they send off to do these high profile cases. And it actually looks really, really good. So, I mean, they're the two, and then, they're the three big horror movies this year. I don't know if we talked about Megan. Megan was pretty good as well.
Was Megan good?
Yeah.
It's the consensus I can't actually, I hadn't been able to nail down.
No, it was brilliant, yeah. No, it was brilliant, yeah. It's not a horror movie, but it seems like it is. It's just, the campness is hilarious. I mean, like, once you're in, and you're like, this movie is wonderful. And I've seen it 4 times.
And see, that's kind of what I was trying to kind of get to when I kept like asking people, like, because like knowing that it is camp, that's what I kind of wanted it to be. I wanted it to be wacky.
It's not wacky. It's not wacky. It's a parody of. It's okay. It's kind of like Chucky, but fully self-aware how ridiculous it is. But then you also drop in, Silicon Valley and the tech industry on top of it.
Right.
And then this really, really awareness of like how people deal with like trauma and stuff like that. So it's very good. It is very good. And I'd say if you haven't seen it, it is worth your time. It's not terrible. Like my dad was like, I'm not watching it. It's the worst thing ever. And then he watched it and he goes, actually, that was really good. There's a new Insidious coming out. Holy hell. The 5th installment of Insidious, which is, I don't think this movie is necessary. It's called Insidious Fear the Dark, and it's directed by Patrick Wilson. I will go see it, but I don't know why they're releasing that movie. Sorry.
If I'm not mistaken,
yes.
I believe that there is going to be 3 Dracula movies this year.
Well, yeah, but one is focused on Renfield.
That's the one. Now, so I think one is like just a cut and dry, just it's a Dracula movie based on that. One sounds interesting in that it is taking place solely on the trip back from London on the boat.
Yes.
And so as Vitsay was going missing, that's interesting. As like kind of a good horror concept and good closed door mystery.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the one I'm excited for is Renfield.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it
because
as well.
It's Nicolas Cage's Dracula.
I mean, it just looks like it's a new take on it. I'm always up for movies that are new takes on familiar premises. I think that's a very cool way of doing it. So that's out relatively soon as well, which is fun. Creed 3 is coming out, I think, this week. Out this week. Yeah. Which
I'm surprised is coming out so soon. Ryan Coogler mustn't sleep because Wakanda Forever only came out at the end of last year.
Well, Michael B. Jordan directed it.
Did he direct this one? I assumed it was a Coogler joint. Okay.
No. Michael B. Jordan directed this one, and Jonathan Majors, who's Kang, is also in it as well. So I mean, busy period for him. What else? Sorry, Shazam! Fury of the Gods is out the 17th. I'm really looking forward to that one.
It looks good. Because it's Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are the bad guys in it.
Yeah.
And I'm always a sucker for that.
And like I saw them on Graham Norton the other day, and it was actually like it looked really fun. So I mean, I was gonna go see it anyway. It's weird because this Blue Beetle's coming out. Nobody even cares about Blue Beetle. Like this is coming out, and it's just like my dad actually watched Black Adam the other day, and he was just like, "Oh, Superman is back," and I'm like, "No, he's not." My mom's like, "No, he's not." It's just like he finally caught up, and he goes, "What do you mean he's not back?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have to explain this to you now." So,
like, funnily enough, out of my list, I actually didn't like. No, I wasn't thinking of many superhero movies. There is one singular superhero movie on my list of things I'm looking forward to this year.
Oh,
and it's Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna eat it. Oh, I love the animation. Oh, it looks.
No, I love the animation. I just don't like Miles.
I just
don't like Miles. I just don't like Miles. I mean, the thing about it is, it's like the saving grace here is though. It looks like it has Batman 2099 in it, which would be cool.
I think that's kind of the big. He's the big new addition. Is Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a sucker for just like really, really good animation. So like,
the animation is beautiful.
It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's really fair.
Let's see. In terms of other beautiful animation, I don't know if we have a firm date on it. There's Makoto Shinkai's.
Oh,
new
sorry.
joint Suzume.
Spider Woman is going to be in it as well. Interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
cool.
Okay. Right. I take it back. This could be quite interesting. Go on. Sorry.
It's also the fact that it's a movie it's going to be 2 movies. So there's going to be one this year,
Really?
and then another one next summer. I think it's beyond. I think it's. I can't. Unless which one I can't remember now. One's Beyond the Spider-Verse. One's Across the Spider-Verse, and it's that's why it's taken so long for this to come out. Like 2020 aside, they're making 2 movies and then one this summer, one next summer.
Right. So they kind of did the Back to the Future kind of thing where they shot 2. Well, they made 2 at the same time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, look, it'll be. I don't know. I am gonna go see it. Obviously. Just hate Miles Morales.
I'm not getting it.
Why do you like why do you like Miles Morales?
It's not even so much that I think, because I just like him as a Spider-Man. Like,
his costume is really cool. I will give you that. His costume's
really cool. I like, because it's very much just the same kind of like I'm not saying like it's the same sort of thing that draws me to like Peter Parker. Like I'm not saying they're not like the same character, because they are, except one's from Queens and one's from the Bronx. Like
they're not the same. They're completely different characters.
I also don't read comics. I don't.
Fair. Okay. No, that's fair. Okay. I'm not. Okay. I'm not. I thought you had like an in-depth point of like the reason why I like Miguel O'Hara, for example, right? He is in the future where Oscorp has taken over the entire world, and he's genetically similar to Peter Parker, but not really. And they implant his DNA against his knowledge to make the spiders. And his whole thing is he's like, I'm just a normal person. How did I end up here? And he's just so annoyed about the whole thing. That's why I love Miguel O'Hara. He's hilarious.
Yeah, see, my extent of my knowledge of Miles comes from Into the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales game. Like,
fair. Look, I think this is the only time we're probably going to get all these Spider-Men in like a big movie, outside of maybe, if Sony and Marvel patch things up and you just really want to go for all the Spider-Man all the time. Yeah, look, I'm here for it. I'm gonna go see it. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah.
Anyway,
also sorry. I know, 1 second. I'm really sorry. The poster, I'm just having a look here because I didn't realize it was 2 movies. It looks like they're actually bringing in a lot of the characters as well. Like, this is probably going to be a much wider Spider-Man movie than just the last one. It seems like they're going across the whole thing because I don't know.
Yeah, no, the trailer has them literally falling through tubes and tubes of timelines of hundreds of Spider-Men. Like,
yeah, because the comic book arc Spider-Verse was actually that. It was like spanning across the entire multiverse. So I mean, if they're doing that, man, I'll probably be there opening day.
Where the multiverse was a kind of a plot point to get to a means of an end of the first one. I think this one is much more about like effects on the multiverse. Interesting.
It also seems like there's a female focused spin-off from this in development as well.
Spider-Man?
Yeah. That's what Wikipedia says.
I mean, that tracks that she was incredibly popular.
Yeah. So I'm shocked they haven't done Spider-Gwen IRL.
It's time and budgeting,
I mean, I really don't know why, because that would make $1 billion.
Yeah, probably
easy. I mean,
hey, write that in email that Sony does.
No, like it's Spider-Man with a teenage girl. I mean, I'm like, you could totally fit this in this should have been a Phase 4 movie. I'm sorry, should have been a Phase 4 movie because that's pretty cool. Anyway, look, but we're almost out of time, Kev. But there is one movie that we haven't talked about, sir.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course I was leaving the best for last.
You're leaving the best for last.
We're leaving the best for last.
So
of course I'm going to go see Barbie.
So I'm not going to leave the listeners in suspense. Regale us why you want to see Barbie so much.
Like the main reason is that it is a Greta Gerwig movie.
Right.
Like, obviously, like, there's been a lot of kind of build up to it. Margot Robbie looks pitch perfect to Barbie, frankly. It's that, like, when you kind of start digging into Barbie as a cultural icon, it's that you realize that she can do anything.
Sorry, okay, on that point, I've never seen the trailer before. The trailer literally is a recreation of the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Except Barbie is the monolith. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Because, like,
Oh my God.
Here's the thing about Barbie, right? If you've watched any of, like, the animated Barbie movies,
No.
a core conceit of them is that it's Barbie starring in this movie. So it's Barbie in the Nutcracker. It's Barbie in The Princess and the Pauper. Barbie is a star of these movies. So Barbie, like, it's almost like the Muppets. Barbie is like a character playing these people. And so that, like, in the TV show Barbie Life in the Dream House, that's kind of played into it, where Barbie is almost like an omnipotent god being who is also president of the world and solves world peace.
Kev, why have you watched so many Barbie movies?
Because they're great, Dara. Come on.
Okay.
You know, what I'm getting at is that this movie looks to be kind of leaning hard into that. Into the fact that Barbie is like this all-powerful, all-knowing being. And that's when it's at its best. But also, having Greta Gerwig at the front, Greta Gerwig, like, between Lady Bird and Little Women, has this pristine knack for telling deep and enriching women's stories, and doing that with one of the most high-profile cultural women, like landmark cultural women, like, known to men. Like, I can only see this as being like a recipe for success.
I'm just so surprised that you've seen so many Barbie movies.
Hey man, I'm a monoculture. What can I say?
I know, but I'm like, fair enough. I mean, there you go. I didn't realize your expertise was like anime Barbie movies. It's just fair enough. I'm impressed. That's all. I'm not judging.
You just gotta keep, like, you just gotta keep peeling layers back on this onion.
He is the man of animation, no matter the type.
I don't judge. Listen,
You don't judge.
Yeah,
Don't judge.
I spent my entire youth turning anything that was live action off because I only wanted to watch cartoons. It didn't matter what the cartoon was. I only wanted to watch cartoons.
That tracks. That makes sense. Well, look, Ev, we're almost done. Like, we have a couple of minutes. So before we get out of here, is there anything you want to plug?
Like, Shudder has a section of terrible movies, which are they know they're terrible, but that's what you're paying for.
If this is a horror podcast now, I absolutely have to bring up that I saw The Lighthouse over the week, and everybody should watch The Lighthouse.
Okay.
I really want to see that one.
I want an elevator pitch.
It's literally just Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson just going insane over the course of 2 hours.
I can watch that.
But it is just, like, it's a really, really good movie. Like, in terms, I never saw The Witch, but I know it's the same director.
Witch is very good.
Like, it's very well shot, very well written, very well directed, and, like, it's literally just kind of Robert Pattinson's character just gradually going insane, being stuck on this island in the middle of the bleeding 1920s or so. I think it's post-war. But, like, it is just... It's so infinitely quotable with these weird, like... 1920s odd, like, sea shanty thing. Like, you will be asking random people on the street after you watch this movie, are you fond of me lobster?
Okay.
Or just like, because I know my friend David was the one that convinced me to watch it, so I watched it, and immediately as soon as I texted him, I just texted him the word in all caps, hark!
and is it on Netflix or is it on some other service?
I think it's on Amazon.
Right.
Amazon Prime?
I'm pretty sure it's on Prime.
Okay, I'm going to be watching that on my first day off this week.
I watched it in totally legitimate physical format.
Oh, wow, how retro. But, like, where did you get it? In what shop is open that would sell it?
Totally legit video store.
Totally.
Oh, I see, okay.
How very academic of you.
I don't know. I discovered a recent Clive Barker horror movie that was on Red Letter Media did a review of it.
I was wondering if you were going to bring this up.
Did you watch it?
I haven't seen the film. I watched the Red Letter Media thing.
Like, what's the name of it? Raw something. It's based in Ireland, and it's about this demon, a sexual demon that tries to attack everybody but won't kill pregnant women, or is afraid of facility symbols. It's very weird. It's a very weird movie. It's actually Rawhead Fred, I think, or something like that. Raw or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But Red Letter Media did a review of it, and I actually was able to find it on YouTube in its entirety. And I'm like, this movie is so weird. And it's a couple of years before Hellraiser, so it's just like, okay, I need to bring this up because this movie is very strange. But to be fair, it does have a very good Irish cast. They all sound like they're from Ireland, so I think it was shot in Ireland.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Ireland. It's not they're saying it's Dublin, and it's like one building next to 11 trees. Like
exactly, yeah. It feels like just in the middle of like Mayo or Mead or something.
Yeah. They're not walking from the Blarney Stone to the Giant's Causeway in one shot or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's worth a watch. I can't remember the name of it now for the life of me, but
unfortunately I can't check without opening the video on my phone. But the thing that really caught my eye in that was the Neil Breen Master Course.
Yes. Now this is crazy. If anyone hasn't seen this, we're Nerd to Know. Red Letter Media do a review series, and this week was on that movie and also this director who...
We gotta preface this though. Do you both know who Neil Breen is?
Of course I know.
He rings a bell.
Don't insult me. I thought I brought him up a couple weeks ago.
I think you might have, Bryn. Neil Breen is like the guy who directed The Room taken to like the next level. Yeah. He is the actor / director / writer / producer who makes his money off being an architect and makes these weird movies that are so bad it's good. And like, I don't know, how would you describe him, Dara?
Someone who is like Tommy Wiseau, but without the awareness that he's Tommy Wiseau. Rawhead Rex, that's the name of the movie.
That's it.
But yeah.
We have a panel. We should probably plug that.
Yeah, we are well, I suppose the big thing to plug is if you are going to be at the spring edition of Dublin Comic Con 2023, we are going to be hosting a panel at 11 o'clock in the morning in the Geek Ireland panel room.
Yes.
We will be putting J.J. Abrams on trial.
Yes.
We will be... If you, the viewer, show up at this panel, you'll be the jury at the trial of J.J. Abrams for the crimes he committed against the Star Wars franchise.
Yes, among others.
Among others. That is the core to this case.
Yeah, that is the conceit. Kev will be the judge because he is impartial. He hasn't got a dog in the fight. Keane will be defending J.J. Abrams. I will be putting him on trial, and Katie will be assisting where needed. But yeah, I mean, guys, if you haven't got your ticket yet, go buy your ticket. It's going to be super fun. We found out about this. I don't know how we found out about this because we applied and then we were just on the bill. It's like, okay.
Like we got the tickets and we got the email earlier today. 3 days ago, a friend of mine said, hey, if you want to hang out at Comic-Con after, let me know. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going yet. To which they responded, you're on a timetable.
So we will be there, folks. Do please hang out. We're there early, so I mean,
don't worry. We're not conflicting with the Father Ted priests. They're on after us.
No,
you've got time before
we're opening. We're the opening.
We're opening.
So yeah, we're gonna be there. I think the doors open at like 11. There's early bird tickets as well. We're kind of aiming our panel to start at 10 past 11 to give people some time to come in and actually enjoy the show. We will be recording it as well. We're going to try live streaming it if we can do that. If not, we will record it and the audio will be on probably on Phoenix, but also on the Nerd to Know media.com.
Check the feeds.
So yeah, it'll be on the feeds. Right. That's everything I have, Kev. This week, if people want to follow me at RWV, Kev, where can the people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at KevTalica94.
Sweet. And we'll be back next week to talk about more nonsense before our appearance at Comic-Con. This has been Nerd to Know. Bye, guys. Alright, so you're listening to the podcast, you're like, hey, I'm not in Ireland, how do I get in touch? Well, TuneIn has you covered. That's how you can check us out live when we're on the radio. You go to TuneIn and download the app, or you can check out the live streams on nerdtoknowmedia.com or Phoenix 92.5 FM. If you want to get in contact with us, it's very easy. Nerd to Know Media everywhere. Nerd to Know Media on Twitter, Nerd to Know Media Instagram, Nerd to Know Media on Twitch, Nerd to Know Media at gmail.com if you want to reach out via email. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.